LeBron has officially won his 4th title. After beating his former team in 6 games, he's accomplished his mission of bringing another championship to the Lakers and takes one step closer towards Jordan's legacy. But how did this happen? How did LeBron set up the scene to win a title with his 3rd team? Let's just say it took a little more than tampering. To fully understand the context of LeBron's 4th championship, we have to go back to Cleveland in the summer of 2018. LeBron had just lost another finals to the Warriors, and is weighing his options going into next season. Let's be honest for 1 second though. The Cavs outside of LeBron were, overall, a group of bums and washed up all-stars, and there really didn't seem to be any improvement in sight. So when he chooses to go to the Lakers in a fresh and exciting move, who could really blame him for leaving Cleveland again? Maybe if Kyrie's ego wasn't the size of his own flat earth, he would have stayed with LeBron and given the king another reason to stay. And combine that with Kevin Love's regression, and there wasn't really anything here for LeBron to use to beat the Warriors. It had been rumored that Magic Johnson had been talking to LeBron about the Lakers for years, and after one 3-hour meeting the night before LeBron had to make his decision, it became official. He would wear the purple and gold. Now the Lakers roster wasn't exactly the dream team either. Though LeBron had gone on record saying the group was extremely talented, they were young, and he wasn't really at the stage of his career to wait for players like Lonzo Ball or Brandon Ingram to develop. Because of this, trading rumors were around all season. And though LeBron carried the Lakers to 4th in the West by January of 2019, it became clear that this would not be the final version of the Lakers championship roster. Top this off with a groin injury that would cut LeBron's season short, and the days of this current Lakers roster were numbered. They would even miss the playoffs without him. Meanwhile, in New Orleans, Anthony Davis was incredibly unhappy with the Pelicans and was doing his best to show it. Again, let's be honest for 1 second. Who can blame him?
The Smoothie King Censor. The Smoothie King Arena. The Smoothie King Arena.
More important than his discontent, though, was how it aligned with LeBron's search for his number 2. It just so happened that a top 10, if not top 5 player was drafted by a below average organization and was aggressively seeking a trade the year LeBron moved to LA. If Anthony Davis is drafted by anyone else or is given better teammates, maybe LeBron doesn't get his right-hand man. But the stars aligned. The Lakers threw the Pelicans their entire farm outside of Kyle Kuzma, and everyone was happy. The Pelicans got their stars of the future, and the Lakers were immediate contenders. The move didn't come without criticism and rumors of tampering, as many sources alluded to LeBron playing a huge role in this trade. But the guy does have a deal with Nike worth over $1 billion, so he probably thought that any fine that would come out of this would be negligible to say the least.
We need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
The Lakers would dominate the 2019 to 2020 season, but the bigger victory might have been their health. Despite never participating in the Clippers-esque load management system, the Lakers remained relatively healthy and kept that going into the playoffs. This is possibly the most underrated part of this title run. If either LeBron or AD suffers a major injury, this whole season is in grave danger, and as we can see with the Blazers, health is not something to be ignored. That same Blazers team would fight their way to the 8th seed, as many thought that they could pose a threat to the Lakers. In their defense though, this was the toughest possible 8th seed opponent the Lakers could have faced. They didn't really seem to mind though. A decent Rockets team was next, but James Harden and Russell Westbrook might be the 2 biggest playoff underachievers relative to their skill, as the only player on Houston that would have any fun that series would be Daniel House. If the Lakers participate in load management, maybe they fall to the 2nd seed to face playoff Luka and the red-hot Nuggets. But instead, they put value in the 1st seed during the regular season, while the Clippers perform maybe the biggest choke job in NBA history, all after struggling against the Mavs, who are relatively without their 2nd best player. Nobody expected these Clipper players to drop the ball this hard. Well, maybe Paul George, but definitely not Kawhi. This playoff anomaly, however, would cut LeBron maybe his biggest break yet. The Nuggets were a solid team, but they had no chance against the Lakers. Not taking anything away from LeBron, because this situation really has nothing to do with him per se, but his trip to the finals became immensely easier after the Clippers' collapse. He may have won the title after the Clippers were no longer a part of the conversation. The Heat, in a lot of ways, were a lot like the Nuggets. They were an emerging team with young, capable stars who dethroned title favorites in their own conference. To beat LeBron and AD, however, you need bona fide stars, and this young Miami core just wasn't ready yet. So in the end, Kyrie leaving Cleveland, Kevin Love's regression, the bloated 2018 Cavaliers payroll, the ineptitude of the Pelicans organization, the exact timing of Anthony Davis's discontent, the Lakers' young talent in 2018, tampering, Magic Johnson, Paul George's inconsistency, the Nuggets' newfound confidence, and the Heat beating Eastern Conference favorites in the Bucks and Celtics all played a role in LeBron's 4th title. If these factors don't exist or don't happen exactly when they do, LeBron's move to Los Angeles and his championship roster becomes all up in the air, and who knows what other all-star LeBron could have teamed up with, and if it would even work. In the end though, this year speaks to LeBron's longevity. He has averaged at least 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in 15 different seasons. At age 35, he's still the most athletic guy on the court most of the time, and doesn't seem to be slowing down. The real question for this Lakers team, however, is if they can repeat. The Warriors will be back with a chip on their shoulder. The Clippers will seek their revenge. Giannis may leave to create another super team. And KD and Kyrie both have personal reasons to beat LeBron in the finals. All I know is the world cannot wait for the 2021 playoffs.